I stole this from Arnold Allen.
He hurt him big time. He's trying to finish. It is all over.
Shout outs to AAA, still killing it at the top of UFC.
He clips him behind the head. That's it.
Now, when we're using our rear hand to hit the body hook, there's gonna be different targets, depending on the stance of person that you're fighting. Now, we're talking about open stance, but are you the lefty or the righty? If I'm righty fighting lefty, I will generally just try to hit the solar plexus with my backhand. Okay, now if I'm lefty fighting, I'm getting confused. Okay, if I'm lefty fighting a righty, okay, I'm gonna hit the solar plexus or the liver. You can choose between both targets because your backhand can contact the liver, but those have to be done a little differently. Now, if you're a righty fighting a lefty, you're not gonna be able to hit the liver with your back arm because it's too close to the front, at least not with a hook, maybe with a cross. You're just gonna be aiming for the solar plexus. Again, if he's lefty and I'm righty, my rear hook is gonna go here into the solar plexus. Liver is located right here, kind of difficult to hit that with my rear hook. Lead hook would work. Now, if I'm lefty fighting righty, I can hit the solar plex or the liver with my backhand. I just got to set them both up a little differently. Okay, so let's look at this solar plexus shot first, and then we'll deal with the liver. I want to get the foot line. Big surprise, we want to get the foot line in open stance. Okay, so you can use whatever method to get there. Okay, gazelle hook, that long uppercut. You could even throw a double jab at his shoulder. Pop, pop. Okay, get your foot to the beside his foot, and now you're gonna drop and bring your head across. Boom, your shot's gonna hit like that. Make sure that if you step with this foot on your entrance that you're bringing this one up with your body hook. You don't wanna do this, I see this all the time. Jab, hook. Now that doesn't have a bunch of weight into it because the weight's still back there. Ha, bang. Okay, make sure that leg turns over, okay, and it comes up. Okay, my head stays here, and then it's gonna go like that a little bit. Okay, so we're bringing our head a little lower, like that. Okay, we're turning that back leg. And if this leg is stepping in on the entrance, this leg is covering the distance and turning over as that hook lands. Now, how do we get to the liver, right? This is what everybody wants to know. Weirdest little thing, I stole this from Arnold Allen.
He hurt him big time. He's trying to finish. It is all over.
Shout outs to AAA, still killing it at the top of UFC. I never really thought about doing this before I saw him do this in sparring. He would step to the inside of the foot, right? So here, we do not want the foot line. And we gotta be worried when we step to the inside of the foot line. We gotta really know what we're doing because we could put ourselves in a really bad spot if we're not very specific with our angles. So if my head is over here on this side of his face, this is very bad. He's gonna murder me, okay? But if my head is over here, it's much harder for him to kill me, right? So I'm gonna step in. Maybe you could use a jab to step in. Boom, okay? Boom, like that. So I'm low position. My head is right in front of his pec, right? Pretty hard for him to hit me with anything that's good. Okay, maybe elbows could work in here, but yeah, all his punches are pretty much dead. And now this back foot is gonna swing that way as I throw that body hook, okay? And because it's a body hook that's contacting the liver, ideally we're going a bit of a 45 up and in, not like across this way, although that would probably still work. The liver is located under the rib cage, right? So we want to go under that rib cage in order to contact it. Boss Rootin' knows, just watch that dude. Okay, so here I'm stepping to the inside of his foot just barely with that jab. and now my back leg is gonna swing this way as I'm throwing that hook. Yeah, it's really nasty. You never see this. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Little off balance there. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Kajan Johnson, I'm an ex-UFC fighter. If you're an MMA fighter and you want to hack the system, I've got your back. I'm creating Pro Fight Guide, everything that you need to be a pro fighter. We've got a bunch of courses that are already done and we are cranking out new ones all the time. We've got the anti-wrestler guide, right? I fought a bunch of wrestlers. I fought Islam Makhachev, I fought Rustam Habilov, I fought Adriano Martins, I fought world champion jiu-jitsu guys, I fought Greco-Roman wrestlers, I fought freestyle wrestlers. Man, I've been fighting people trying to hold me down like my whole career. Needless to say, I've been studying this problem intently and I've crammed all of the knowledge that you need to beat wrestlers into one guide. One-stop shop. This has bottom game, this has striking, this has cage control strategies, wall work, how to get up, how to rip their leg off if they don't let you up. It's got everything you need to whoop on these wrestlers. The anti-wrestler guide alone is like 70 plus videos or something. I'm gonna keep adding to it. MMA basics course, we've got all the things that you need to know for like your first year of training really. Striking strategies, grappling strategies, submission escape, submission attacks, positional awareness, passes, transitions, footwork patterns, the basic weapons, the most important weapons, the foundation of the weaponry, the arsenal that you need to build as an MMA fighter, how to chain from striking into takedowns, strategies on the wall, like how do you grapple on a wall? Because a lot of the time people just teach you jiu-jitsu and they teach you wrestling and then they're like, yeah, go. And then there's a wall there and you're like, what the hell do I do with this thing? They're like, I don't know, figure it out, right? You don't have to figure it out, get the MMA basics guide. That's what we made it for. I know some of you guys live in remote communities. Like I grew up in a town called Burns Lake, like 2,500 people tops. We don't have access to elite level MMA instruction in Burns Lake, BC. This is one of the reasons that it's so important to me to make this. It's gonna be a database for people that don't have access to world-class coaches. You do now, just get the Pro Fight Guide, 70% off still. This is the last chance, you gotta get it now. We're raising the prices because it's just gonna be too valuable. Even if you're not a pro fighter and you just wanna learn how to defend yourself, if you wanna learn how to get in shape, MMA honestly for me is the best way to stay in shape because it's so much more stimulating for your brain than running on a stupid treadmill. Last chance right now for the 70% off pre-order on Pro Fight Guide. We're raising the price.